Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Money Mindset Hub podcast. I'm your host, Carla Townsend, and I am a money mindset and success coach for female entrepreneurs who are ready to eliminate their money blocks and monetize their genius. So, on the 28th of June, it was my 33rd birthday. And I always find that with my birthdays, it is an opportunity where I reflect on the past year and what went really well, what could I have worked on, what are my new goals? Because I don't know about you, maybe you're the same, but I always find that my new year begins on my birthday. I don't really go by New Year's, the 1st of January and what am I going to do this year? I mean, I do in terms of goals. I love to set goals for every year, but I find it's just so much more potent when it's in line with like your new year of life, like the next year of life. And, let's be honest, I'm just so grateful at the same time that I got to experience my 33rd birthday with my beautiful family and just was so lit up. My cup was so full. And the beautiful reflection that I had was 3 years ago at my 30th birthday. I envisioned what I was going to create, what I knew I would create by the time that I got to my 33rd birthday. I knew that I would be full time in my business. I knew that I would have a team to support me. I knew that I would be surrounded by the most incredible, big vision, big hearted women around the world. And I knew that what I desired to create was honestly a matter of time. And I experienced overflowing months and clients and ideas and just igniting my creative spark and everything. It was just so remarkable, like going back and picturing like at my 30th birthday, what had I envisioned? And the beautiful thing is when I got to 33, I had done it. I did everything that I set out to do. I did what I wanted to do by my 33rd birthday. Now, 3 is my lucky number. You may not know that, but 3 is my lucky number. It's just always come up my entire life. I even have 3 children. So my youngest is she turned 3 this year, the same year as I turned 33. And it was just, it's just a profound year. And I'm so freaking grateful that I never stopped. And so I want this to be your reminder that you can do exactly what you said that you would do. You can follow through. Sometimes it's hard. It's not always easy. There are going to be times where you just question yourself and your abilities. And if you cut out for this, and is it working? Is it not working? But I always find that there is resistance right before your big breakthrough. Like it just seems to happen all the time. Like there's always this, oh my God, is this right? Is this working? I don't know. Before it actually shows up in the 3D, there is this hesitation and this resistance. But as long as you can hold that faith, as long as you can lean into that belief that you know it's for you and the timeline in which it happens is out of your control, you surrender to that fact. You do the things that you know you need to do, and then the rest is out of your hands. And that's how you get to the goals. That's how you achieve them. And that's how you look back in another 3 years' time and go, I did exactly what I set out to do. And it's just getting better and better. Anyway, long-winded approach. So what we're going to talk about today is the 3 simple money hacks to attract more. So I am such a practical person when it comes to money. This is just the way that I've always been. I remember back in the day when I was working 4 different jobs and a couple of them I was paid in cash for. And I remember I had like little plastic pockets. You know what they used to give you at the bank where they were like the little money plastic pockets that you'd put your coins in and whatever. So I had multiple of them laid out in a drawer in my room. And I literally had, whatever it was for fuel that week and my spending money and all this sort of stuff. I would get paid in cash from some of my jobs, 3 out of 4 of my jobs. And then I would divide that money into the plastic pockets for my fuel and my phone bill and, just spendings and savings. That's that's literally what I would do to save. And then I would go and I'd put it in the bank because I had a term deposit there for the longest time to build up, to save, to go and travel Europe for a few months. And that is how I always did money. Now, over the years, the last few years particularly, I've learned how to create it out of thin air and make money myself rather than just manage it and accumulate it and allow it to go further. But I think it's so important to say that too, because of course, I love the energetics of money. There's a big side of that. Like your mindset towards money, your money mindset is so important because it will attract or repel what you desire, whether it be money or not. If it's anything to do with money or success, remembering I always go by money and success go hand in hand, right? The level of success that you believe you're capable and worthy of achieving is directly correlated with how much money you believe you can create and receive. Always. So, if there is any part of you in one way or another that is repelling that, maybe it's the language that you're using, maybe it is the conversations that you are having with people around you, maybe it is the way that you are supporting or managing your money or not that is not benefiting you moving forward. I think that it's so important to understand those little subtle shifts and the way that you may be sabotaging yourself from actually creating, attracting, receiving, holding, and expanding the wealth that you have, the money that you have, I should say, because wealth to me truly is a state of being, not of having. It is about who you are. It is the way that you hold yourself. It is the way that you go throughout life. It is your levels of confidence and conviction and certainty within yourself and the way that you operate and the way that you know what is yours and what is coming. So, when it comes to money and these three simple hacks, I thought, what are the things that are truly game changing when it comes to money? And so I thought, these are the first three that come to mind. There are many, and trust me, they are in my program, my signature money program, money methodology, which I'll talk about a bit later because that's about to come back with a bang. So let's go into these ones first because yeah, I am such a someone who is so practical with money. Now it served me to a certain degree, but then it was actually the energetic side of it that I had to explore more. I had to go into my limiting beliefs around money, my limiting beliefs around my own self-worth, because remembering that abundance and feeling like you are worthy of abundance is related to how much self-worth you have. Like it is what you believe you deserve truly. It's just the way that you operate. It's your baseline, basically. So, the first money hack is to track your money. Now, when I say track your money, I do not mean go and write down every dollar that you spent and every dollar that you earned and make sure you are watching exactly where your money is going and all of that to the dollars and cents. I don't mean that. Who the hell has time for that? I sure as hell don't. Tracking my money in terms of my business, right? There are two different ways that I'll do it. I'll give it to you the one way that I have done it for years and years and years. I do have a money plan, AKA a budget, but I like to call it a money plan because then I know exactly where my money's going. So when I get paid or when my husband gets paid, because obviously all our stuff's together, when we get paid, I know exactly what is incoming and I know exactly what is outgoing and I know exactly what our goals are and what's going towards that. So let's just put it simply. That is in terms of like your money plan, tracking your money. But that's not what I mean when I say tracking your money. For this scenario, I want you to track the income that you are generating in your business because I want you to have fun with it. And the more that you see zeros, the more that you are inspired to put out more opportunities to actually create more money. So, what I mean by tracking your money is like literally just every day have a look at what came through into your bank account. You can do it based on, what Stripe notifications did you have or what PayPal notifications or whatever. But I like to do it once it's cleared and the cash is received because it's so easy, right? Just log into my bank. I look at my business account. Now, this is purely for business. This is not from personal things because my goal in life is to create a certain level of reoccurring income in my business obviously then that supports the freedom for our entire family, but like it's my challenge to myself, and it probably is for you too. You're challenging yourself to try and hit these certain income or revenue goals in your business. So use this to just bring about your awareness to it. Because if you notice, okay, for maybe like 7 days in a row, there's been $0 that have been deposited into your business bank account, one, you're going to go, okay, well, something's not working here, right? Am I actually putting out any offers? Do I have any offers? Do I need to actually go back and create a better offer suite? Do I need to go revamp it? Do I need to reach out? What do I actually have to do to go and do it? Because at the end of the day, you're your own boss. You are the CEO of your business. You're the one who's driving your revenue, and that is your main job. Your main job is to market yourself and make money. That's your job. So when you're tracking your money, it's just make it a fun thing. Just make it fun. Like, oh, what's coming in today? What's coming in tomorrow? What come in every day this week? You don't have to do it every single day, but even just once a week, have time to see what came in this week. Are you tracking towards your goals? Because if you're like me, you probably have an income goal of some kind. And you are probably reverse engineering how you're going to get there and what's going to work and what's going to get you to that point of hitting that number. And without tracking it, how do you know if you're even close? So it's just about tracking it and having fun with it. It's not about going, oh my God, okay, I spent like $3.65 on a small coffee this week, which are probably more than that. I don't even know what they are. Like $6, $7, $8, something like that. It's not about that. I'm not talking about that at all. Tracking your money is just like, what amount of income is coming in through your business every single day? And how can you make it fun? How can you be like, oh, what if I did that again? What if I could triple that? What would that look like? Because yeah, like I said, the more zeros that you see, the more you're going to want to challenge yourself to actually try and bring in more. And it is so fun. It actually makes it fun because money's fun. It gets to be fun. When you see money rolling in, you're like, this is cool. I remember a couple of years ago, I remember sitting on the couch. It was like a Saturday or Sunday morning. It was on the weekend. And I was sitting there with my two youngest. And I remember seeing a couple payment notifications in, now multi 4 figures in total in the same day, same morning, 24 minutes apart. And I remember going, oh my God, it used to take me a week to earn 4 figures. And then I managed to make multiple 4 figures within 24 minutes on a weekend while I'm sitting with my kids. That's how fun it gets to be. Like it gets to be fun. You get to collapse time, but you also need to know, how's it looking? How's it tracking? Because where your attention is going, that is where your energy is flowing, right? And you cannot increase or improve what you don't measure. It's just like if you're trying to grow muscle or lose weight, that's probably an easier scenario. You're trying to lose weight, but you never got on the scales. How do you even know what your baseline is? How do you know week on week or month on month what you're actually tracking, what's normal, what's depending on your cycle? This is kind of where you sit. Like if you don't know what you weigh, but your goal is to lose weight, but you never get on the scales, like how do you even know what your progress is? Just like your money. Just track it, have fun with it. All right, moving on. So, number 2. This is a practical one, which takes a lot of repetition and a lot of practice. This is every time you say something out loud or you have a thought that is not supportive of you and your wealthiest self, let's just picture for a moment your 7-figure self, right? 6-figure self, multi 6, 7, input any goal that you're trying to go for. Would she think those things about money or success and what is possible or what is not possible? Would she entertain those kind of conversations and would she use that language? I think your language is so important because you are always listening to you. You are listening to your thoughts. You are listening to the words that come out your mouth. And one of the biggest things that I had to do was interrupt myself. So whenever I would say things like, I can't charge that, I would say, oh, one, please don't ever say the word can't, because if you say the word can't, you are instantly like blocking yourself off from finding any opportunity to solve that solution, right? To solve that problem. Do not say can't. But anytime that I said a word or a phrase that I was like, oh, but if I already had, millions of dollars, if I was already making millions of dollars in my business every year, I wouldn't speak like that. So I stopped and I would instantly replace it. If I said like, oh, that was too expensive, I would say, I mean, I wouldn't actually be able to justify paying that in this moment. Right? Like just flip it. It just has to be something that's a little bit more believable, but don't say things out loud like they're truth. And don't say things out like even in your head as like they're your truth, they're your ultimate. Because you don't want to put those sort of statements like, give you some more examples like, I can't charge that. No one would buy that. If I raise my prices, no one's going to pay. Who am I to talk about money? Like there's, that's too expensive. I can't believe that she's putting herself out. Like all these things. Any word that you say, any phrase that you say, any judgment that you put out, whether it be about you, whether it be about someone else, whether it be about someone's level of money, whether it be about someone's level of success or something that they're doing, the minute you spit it out, you are listening. And your mind always assumes you're talking about you. So whenever you judge someone else, your mind is like, well, you better not put yourself out there like that, because if you're judging that, you definitely don't want it and it'll keep you in a box. So just flip the script every time, reframe. And I mean, like if you are having a conversation with a girlfriend and you say a phrase that you know is not supportive of where you want to go, or you don't actually want to believe that, like things like, I'm just not that good with money. I'm not that good with money yet, but I'm trying. Even just reframing it to that. But you need to back it up instantly. So whenever I would catch myself saying something or thinking a thought, I would instantly replace that thought or straight away follow myself up and say the phrase that I actually wanted to believe, that I actually wanted to think. Then it just became a habit to the point that those phrases and those thoughts don't enter my mind. And if they do, I get to shift them in an instant. It's not like I don't think now I can't charge that, or if I raise my prices, no one's going to buy, because I've proven that to be true, that they do. And whatever you believe is true. So flip the script and remember to replace the phrases that you think or that you spit out loud, because you're always listening. And lastly, the last hack to attract more money is something that backs on from reframing the way that you speak and the language that you use, but it's actually called emotional freedom technique. So EFT, also known as tapping. So tapping is a modality that is used to shift the energy around your body. So you hit the different meridian points around your body, saying different mantras, and it actually helps to rewire the way that you think. Energetically, I feel it. And I teach my clients to do the same thing. It is so profound. I cannot even explain to you, but the level of statistics, the amount of research that has been done on EFT with Olympians and, pro athletes and speakers and like some of the most famous people on the planet use EFT when they are feeling really anxious or worked up, or they're really just in their own head. They will use EFT as a way to bring them down so they can operate from a more neutral space. I've even supported friends that really struggle with anxiety and taught them how to do this and how to create their own scripts so that they can get themselves off that ledge when they're in that moment. And it works. So this is honestly one of the number one tools that I have used, other than reframing and several different other modalities in combination. Remember, it's always a combination of things that compound, and it just gets easier and easier. It honestly does. And I remember the first time I ever used EFT, I thought, is this going to work? Like I was pretty skeptical. I knew the facts, and that's the only reason that I tried it, because I thought, okay, here we are. We're like tapping on our hands and then we're tapping on our face and things like that. And I was so skeptical, but I'm a data nerd. So I went and had a look and looked at the research, and I was like, okay, all right, this all seems pretty legit. So let me give it a go. That was back in 2019. I have not looked back. So let's just say that is still one of the most profound ways to rewire your mind, just shift the energy around your body and move on from a funk and reframe those limiting beliefs that you have. It just still blows my mind, but the modalities that we have now available to us are so important, and I use many. So before we dive any deeper, I just wanted to say that my signature program, Money Methodology, is coming back out. We start again in 2 weeks. This will be a live round. And I am so excited for this because not only does it explain to you the energetics of money and how to create, receive, hold, and expand it, also how to collapse time, but it also explains how to really move beyond those limiting beliefs that you have so that you can create the level of success and freedom that you desire and wealth. Become the woman that you dream of becoming. Become the one that is so grounded when it is anything to do with money. So, money methodology is for the high achieving woman who is ready to dissolve her money blocks and elevate her earning potential. This is for you if you desire to charge more, right? But every time you put out an offer, you find yourself second guessing the price or instantly thinking, I better discount it in case I don't actually buy. Or you want to know what it actually feels like for your mood not to be dictated by your bank account or your Stripe notifications or lack thereof. You want to escape that scarcity loop when it comes to money and finally feel like there is more than enough, not having to live week to week anymore. I want to see you celebrate high cash months because you know you deserve it, you know you're ready for it, and you know it's possible for you because you've seen others do it. It is also for you if you're just ready to fully embody your wealthiest self and stop caring what other people think because you know that there's so much more to life and you're responsible for creating your own luck. You want to resolve your money blocks, and I know that you want to dissolve your money blocks once and for all. I honestly, this program I initially launched back in 2022 and it was profound. And I was going back over the testimonials that I got from this program, like back then, 2 years ago. And in 2 years' time, like my whole world has changed. So I knew that this program needed a revamp and to bring it back to life with my new lessons and reflections and expansion that has happened. Because in the last 2 years, my whole world has changed. I've gone from, this beautiful business of mine being a side hustle to now being a full-time gig, having a team, having record months time and time again. 3 times this year alone, I shattered my own income ceiling. It just feels so damn good. So damn good to be able to do it and to bring it back and to make it better than ever, because the ladies who initially did my program 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, they had their highest income months. They had manifested money out of nowhere, like sales that they were not expecting. Some of them didn't even actually have a business, but they seemed to double their savings outside of their normal income, pay for their brand new car in cash, sell their home for far more than what they expected to get. Like the list goes on and on. And I am so used to seeing money miracles now that I just know that it is your normal when you understand the principles and do the practical work that is within this program. I know it's going to change your life, and it's something that you will continue to come back to time and time again, just like my clients who come back again and again to tell me their money manifestation stories and the things that have happened off the back of completing that program 2 years ago. So I would love for you to join me there. So go check that out. But if you missed too, I have the Shatter Your Income Ceiling Masterclass, which is free, which you can go and check that out. The link is in the show notes if you want to go and check that one out and just to begin you on this journey of understanding money. But yeah, it is truly the best thing that I ever did. And it's just a part of my life's work is to explain money in such a practical way for people to understand and to take it off the pedestal so that you can actually appreciate it, receive it, create it, expand it, and live your fullest life. Because what is the point of having all this money and all this success if we don't feel fulfilled, if we don't feel joyous and free? And that's what I want for you. So I would love if you join me, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I would absolutely love it if you could please leave me a 5-star review and let me know your thoughts. Remember, everything you desire and deserve is just on the other side of your own resistance. So take that next step.